potted them up before when they were leggy. They were in these little solo. So what I'm gonna do is just plant these out. Hello, this is Sonia here from Sam and Sonia's Garden. I thought I'd come back and give you an update of what's happening with our peppers. If you'll remember, a while back I posted a video of my leggy pepper plants that I wasn't quite sure if they would make it or if I'd have to start all over. Well, I didn't start all over. I took the advice I got on Facebook about how to rescue them, did what they said. I'll have to tell you what they said some other time. I think maybe I potted up the Criollas, and these are my Criollas. I potted them up, and I also potted up the I want to say the Hungarian yellow waxes, and these three are the Hungarian yellow waxes. I potted them up also. You'll see, I'm about to show you a little closer up everything that happened. I'm so excited about these, and they've been potted in these. Actually, when I potted them up before when they were leggy, they were in these little solo cups, and they stayed there for quite a while. I potted these up probably, I don't know, 3 weeks ago, 4 weeks ago, and they are doing excellent. It's time for me to get my tomato cages on. I haven't done that yet, but I'll get that done. But I want to show you a little closer what's going on with these peppers. I'm so excited because they're doing so well, and I'm looking forward to having lots of harvest for my freezer and dehydrator this year. Let me show you. Now, to start out, these Criollas did not look like they were going to do much. But now you'll see I've got flowers and peppers coming on. They're looking really good. And this is a very bushy plant. And I did crop the top out of it. I don't know if you can even see where the top was cropped out there. Didn't hurt it. Actually, it made it start bushing out, and it's bushing out really nicely. Here's a smaller Criolla. Same thing. I cropped the top out here when it was younger. I don't know if you can see that. Let's see if I can zoom in a little. Yeah. So I cropped the top out right there. You see that? When it was very young. And it's looking great now. Another Criolla. They're looking great. And these are my Hungarian yellow waxes. Now, the reason that I hurried and got these 6 potted up was because the yellow waxes were looking mighty puny. They were looking very yellow. So I don't know if that's because of the color of them, that's the variety, but you'll see it's got a little pepper on there already, or bloom. So does this one. There's my train. I apologize. I'll just keep showing you. Peppers, more peppers. Looks great. Now let's walk around to this big one on the back and see what's going on with it. This is my Lesya pepper that I planted for the very first time. Well, the Criolla Sellas and Hungarian waxes are also very first times. But this one is what I'm really excited about. It's supposed to have big juicy peppers, and I think I will take this leaf because it looks a little sad. It's a little sad, and I'll just, that one too. Let's grab that. Okay, so I got those leaves. But these are supposed to be like some beautiful, vigorous growers. I don't think I cropped the top out of this one. I really don't. So I'm just going to see what happens with it, because I usually crop my tops, but I didn't there. So again, this is my Lesya, Lesya. I had to read that to be sure. But that's my Lesya. But let me show you what else we've got going on. So these are these 7, and I potted these all up about the same time. Now, about, I'm going to say a week later, I potted these cuties up. Now, this is what my Lesya pepper. That's a Lesya pepper, and that's a Lesya pepper. All of these got the tops cropped out of it. These were potted up later than that one that I just showed you. So these 3 are the Lesyas. There's the second one and the third one over there. And you'll see that it's kind of blooming out. Or bushing out. And now we have my beautiful Cayennes. My Cayennes did an excellent job last year. I decided this year to put them in larger buckets because it just seems like it was hard keeping them wet, moisturized, keeping the water to them because they were in such small buckets. So I gave their roots more room this year. So here's my Cayenne, and you see it's doing its thing. It's beginning to bloom in the top, getting blooms. Again, I've got to get my tomato cages on here. I like to put the tomato cages on here because my peppers do better in buckets. But I use the tomato cages to give them some support while the peppers start coming on and what have you, if I need to tie something up. But most importantly, when it gets too hot out, I like to, when it gets too hot out, what I'll do is come in and I will, over the tops of my tomato cages, I will put like a sheer fabric over the top. Should be a shade cloth. I haven't invested in that yet, but that's the effect I get. And it keeps them shaded because the leaves is not quite enough shade, but that shade cloth gives me the shade that I need to keep these looking good and producing throughout the summer. Mine produced all summer long. I had to leave on an emergency this last summer, and when I came back, my peppers had died back some from lack of watering, but they were like so full of peppers. Oh my gosh. And I'd been gone for almost 2 months. So they did really great. They would have gone longer had I been here to take care of them, but I was really proud of them, my babies. All right, so that's what's going on back here, and I'll show you what else I've got back here. I'm kind of sad about it. I've not been able to get these things out in the garden, so let me show you what it is. The first thing that I've not been able to get out, these are my tomatoes. So I've got burgundy tomatoes, I've got grape tomatoes, I think I've got extra large Roma. They're all back here just waiting to be put out in the garden. It might be too late to get any production off of them. I hope they're not too root bound. You can tell they look a little sad. All right, now over here I've also got, let me come on this side. I've also got my leftover peppers that are still in cups. Now these were just like the extra that I just didn't get to plant out. So they're all the same varieties. I've got my Hungarian yellow wax right here. I've got, you see I've pinched the tops out. This is Hungarian yellow wax. Let's see what this is. This is Hungarian yellow wax. All that's Hungarian yellow wax. Moving a little further up, let's see what we've got here. This is Criolla, and it's got a bloom on it. Poor baby, he's got a bloom. She wants to give me fruit. Oh goodness, there's another, and there's roots coming out. I'm gonna put these out in the garden. I don't want them to go to waste. These are Criollas. This is a Criolla. So I think all of these are Criollas. This is Cayenne. Roots coming out. I don't think I pinched the top on these. So here goes. I'm going to show you how I pinch the top. So I just come down Oh yes, I did pinch the top too. That's been pinched. I don't know if you can see that, but that has been pinched. All right, so you won't get to see it today. Sorry. More cayenne. There was 2 in that one and I never separated them. And they have been pinched. Yep, they've all been pinched. So all of this is cayenne. Now, I will tell you this. Well, these 2 look like they were gonna die. I'm gonna show you these 2 tomatoes here. They look like they were gonna die, so I didn't want them to spread disease to the other tomatoes over there. So I pulled them off to the side and they kind of dropped those crazy looking leaves, and this one still has some crazy looking leaves on it, and started putting out more at the top. So maybe they'll be okay, I don't know. But I want to show you this. Last year I had lots and lots of basil. So I noticed that those containers that it grew in, that some volunteer basil came up. So I just kind of popped some in here, and there was lots in my garden also. Lots of basil was in my garden because I had quite a few basil plants out there. So what I'm going to do is just plant these out in different places. Here's some more basil. I'm going to plant these out in different places. I like to keep them with my peppers. I like to keep them with my tomatoes. Mosquitoes are starting to bite me, so we're going to cut this video. I don't have on my mosquito hat, nor do I have on my sleeves. That's not normal for me. I don't know what this is. I found it growing in one of my pepper pots from last year. You can look and tell me if you know what it is. Please tell me. It looked different, but it looked intriguing. So I held on to it. I don't know. We'll find out. It might be a weed. I don't know. But anyways, this is what's happening back here. Again, I'm fighting mosquitoes. They're trying to get me. Actually, they are getting me. I want to show you one more thing. I just have so much fun out here. I need to get finished and get to work. But anyway, that's one of the blessings of being able to work from home. I can do lots of other things too. All right, so these greens were volunteers in the garden. And as Sam was getting ready to turn the garden over with the tiller, excuse me, I don't know what that is. As he was getting ready to turn the garden over with the tiller, I thought, oh no, I need to rescue those greens and get them in some pots or something, and maybe we can keep those for the rest of the year. So I've got them behind our shed so that they won't get so much sun, and hopefully they'll still thrive. They kind of flopped. They were flopped worse than this when I first put them out here. Yeah, so they're looking better. This one had stood up at one point, and now it's flopped over again. So I don't know what to make of that. All of these had flopped over really, and they're looking good in here. I'm just going to keep pumping the nitrogen to them, my homemade nitrogen, and see what happens. We might get to harvest some from these, we might not. At least I tried. I'm trying something different. I've never done this before. I've heard of growing greens in pots and things. Hopefully I'll get to tell you that I've eaten them and they were delicious. We will see. But here are my greens, and I'm thinking that this is probably a kale or something maybe. This is either a I don't know what it is. I think this is a chard. I know this is a chard. This might be a beet or chard. I don't know, but I do know that's chard. And this is whatever. This over here is whatever this is. But it's some type of green. Can be a kale or something. I don't know. But we love green, so it really doesn't matter. We'll eat it. Well, all that said, I just wanted to bring you out and kind of share what's happening in my garden. I will talk to you next time. Have a wonderful day and come back again. Like, share, comment, and subscribe so that you can keep up with what's going on in Sam and Sonia's garden. Till next time, bye.